Listen up, you blundering fools. It's time for the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. Get all the toy talk your evil heart could desire from these nincompoops. Jason, Elgin, and Spooty.
Yo, Joe, and welcome to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. We're a group of friends. I think we're friends. We get together, we like to talk about one of our favorite things in the world, toy collecting. That's right. We're here to celebrate how these little colorful pieces of plastic can transform you into a little teeny tiny kid again.
So tiny.
If this is your first time listening to us or watching us on YouTube, guys and gals, thank you so dang much. It's awesome that you're tuning in. But you're going to learn soon enough. We are not toy experts. No. Toy enthusiasts.
Yeah.
We like to talk about toys, but we're going to get stuff wrong. It's going to be okay.
Yes.
Speaking of those details, let's introduce everyone. Hi, I'm Jason. That's what they call me. And that's Elgin.
That's what they call me.
And hey, look over there. It's Spooty.
That's what they call it.
That's what some of them.
I don't call it that.
It's not what your mom calls me. Join us as we delve into the fascinating world of articulation and action figures. From the simple swivel joints of vintage toys to the intricately designed ball joints of modern collectibles, articulation plays a pivotal role in the evolution of action figure design. But articulation isn't just about functionality. It's also about storytelling. We'll explore how articulation influences character personality, conveying emotion and attitude through subtle movements and gestures. Whether it's a heroic stance, a menacing pose, or a graceful leap, articulation breathes life into plastic heroes and villains alike. I'm excited about this one, guys.
I was doing all the poses.
You were. That's the main reason to tune in to the YouTube show is because Elgin does cool things.
It's not for your wordplay, the pivoting. I heard that.
You like that?
Not really.
And then later in the show, Elgin's going to take us on a tour of a brand new toy store. I guess I don't know if the store's new, but it's new to us.
Yes.
And I'm excited to hear all about it. And lastly, we're going to hear from you, our listeners. Later, Spooty's going to tell us what you guys think about articulation.
What?
Yeah.
So I hope you're prepared for that. So you can also follow us on all the social media platforms, including Patreon. That's our favorite. Mm-hmm. And those links can all be found at our super cool, stylish, badass website, cracktasticplastic.com. And while you're surfing the interwebs, be sure to stop by our sponsor, toyhacks.com, for all your repro label needs. They also have an armory where you can get some toy-accurate 3D printed weaponry and tons of amazing sticker sets for all your toys. We also have a monthly contest that Elgin's going to tell you about.
Every month, we post a picture on our social media pages, and you can comment, and if we pick you, you win a $5 coupon to Toy Hacks that you can use at toyhacks.com.
Thunderstorm. Might not hear it on the microphone, but we all just kind
of
pooped our pants a little bit. Uh-oh. Thank you. Yes, that's toyhacks.com. Were you done?
I think so.
I can't remember. I was scared from the
I feel like
noise.
I told everyone what they needed to know.
Yeah, just go to our stuff. And
just rewind this.
Oh, good call.
We'll wait.
Okay, and that's toyhacks.com. But right now we're going to talk about what toys we picked up lately in a segment we call Thrill of the Hunt.
Listen up, you fools! If anyone knows more about searching for the most unique items in the world, it's me, Cobra Commander. In my reign as Cobra's leader, I have acquired countless items, but those meddling Joes have foiled my attempt at worldwide domination over and over again. But it's the thrill of the hunt that fuels my superb rule of Cobra. Pay attention to my loyal subordinates as they tell you of their latest exploits and acquisitions. It's the thrill of the hunt, Cobra!
All right, let's go over to Spooty. What have you gotten lately, pal?
Too much stuff.
Okay.
But
What? Is that a thing?
Is this a double extra large episode?
no.
Oh, okay. You're just going
Double
to talk
extra
fast.
large.
But maybe the next one it's all in the other room. So
Well, look at those cool things you're about to show us.
I have a couple things. A couple few.
Dozen things.
Couple, 2 or 3.
I got some knockoff.
That's KO if you're new to the
KO.
business. What is it?
A
Whoa.
Nemesis Prime. I can't remember the
It's a
actual
Transformer, I think.
brand. It's not.
It's probably
So it,
some.
Shit's falling back there.
I think that's
That's
chair.
gonna happen.
Yeah, but
it's
Nemesis.
it's
Prime.
one of like the movie kind of versions.
Yes. Movie Nemesis Prime.
the Michael Bay movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Bayverse. Do
There you
they
go.
still call it that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this was labeled as an Optimus Prime, but it's really an Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
With more swords than the other.
Maybe
But-
it's albino.
and they're
Prime.
not. They kind of look the same, but they do transform differently.
Really.
Yeah, their feet are pretty much the same, but like the cab's a little different.
Cool.
How do you feel about the Bayverse Primes? Have you gotten used to it? I assume we all hated it at first, but you getting used to it? You liking it now? Because they just re-released the Masterpiece Optimus, and I was going to bug you about it if you were going to get it.
I don't know. I mean, some of the toys are kind of cool. It's like they're pretty complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are
'Cause it's hard to
entirely
see
too. Yeah, 'cause
What you got to
you
do.
have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Right.
Basically,
What could go
So do you just
where?
keep them in robot mode?
I don't know.
they look really cool as the vehicle modes.
Oh.
Yeah, but that color scheme is
Transform them all.
badass.
Yeah.
The white one is what he was talking
So
about.
yeah, I mean they're both pretty cool. So maybe I just need multiples, and then
Of
one
course.
with each.
So if you have one, send it to Josh.
Yeah, which I actually
P.O. box.
have a few. Well, the thing is like the Bayverse Optimus Primes from movie to movie don't really change much.
Right.
So like I honestly don't know which one's which, but I like have a few of them.
Sure.
Yep.
So I don't actually know if they're different.
Okay.
I haven't really
Fair enough.
compared them. Speaking of okay movies,
Come on.
it was all right.
Yeah.
It was
I don't know what you mean.
the best,
Rise of the Beast.
probably the better live action one that they've done. And mostly because Bumblebee dies.
Yeah, you stood up and cheered during that.
Yeah,
Like, yes.
but at the Studio Series Rhinox, who I don't want to talk about how long that took to transform.
He's a chunky monkey.
It looks like a
rhino.
like
He
a
looks-
Marvel figure.
Right.
Yeah,
He does kind
See
of
a
look
little
like
tail.
Ram
Look
Man.
at a little
yeah.
tail.
He doesn't look that complicated, but like
Yeah.
Turns out.
it's just like there's kind of a seam that you don't really see that opens up, and then it's not so bad.
Don't even look for it, Elgin. You can't see it.
I'm just looking at his head sculpt mainly.
I mean,
that's
the
cool.
upside to that, it is in the color scheme that Elgin can see just fine.
Oh.
Gray,
It's just all gray.
mostly gray with accents of gray.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I like the movie. The story was good.
This
The-
is
the
Rise,
human
of the
story-
Beast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rise of the
It
Beast
was-
story.
I mean, better than a lot of them.
The human parts were actually good.
Did they kill Mark Wahlberg in this one?
Elgin.
What?
Have you not watched it?
No.
Come on.
And then I got,
I haven't watched anything
got
after the second
some
movie.
G2s.
More G2s. I recognize those wild colors anywhere.
Which you probably can't see these. So there's 4 of them. They are the accelerators, but they're spelled different. It's Axle accelerators.
Accelerators.
Accelerator.
But it's hard to pronounce. What their names are, I don't remember.
Blue guy and red guy and
Zoomy.
One of those is like Rapido. I
What?
think the red one there.
Do you remember the blue? What this blue one is?
I don't.
Bluey.
I mean, let me look real quick.
Oh, that's That's important.
So do these? If you pull them back, they go forward.
No.
Oh.
So the engines actually are their guns. So all the engines come out.
Gungeons, they call it.
Oh yeah, Gungeons.
Yeah.
It's like Gungeon Warriors.
Well, these are fun.
So
I broke that.
Oh, his hood kind of comes
Glue
off.
it back together.
Oh,
The truck's name is Turbo Fire.
Trucky.
I really did.
Yeah, it pops off.
Okay.
Turbo Fire.
It's a Rapido.
Is it Rapido or Rapido?
Ooh, look at those. That green
It
in
is.
there. That's pretty. That's an interesting sound. We'll ignore that too.
Rapido. So,
Rapido.
Rapido.
Hey, Rapido.
and then this is Windbreaker,
Sure it is.
and
Which is
what's
orange
the other, the blue one?
and
I'm bluey.
blue.
Which that one was down here ways. Scram.
Right, guy? This guy?
G2.
That is Windbreaker.
Oh. Who's Scram?
This one.
The one I broke.
Oh,
one that
the broken one.
Yeah, if you just pull, they come apart.
Yeah,
Oh,
his hood's
send it
kind
to
of pops off easy.
Those are cool, dude. I've never seen those in person.
Yeah, and the transformation's actually not too bad, but
Cool.
well, you don't like that noise?
I hate it.
Let me do that some more then.
Okay.
That's all I brought this time.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
you said you had a lot of stuff.
I do.
it's all over past
So-
the camera.
I mean, I got more of that stuff up. I got my
Doesn't count.
most of
Oh,
my
backdrop.
G1s,
Yay.
Decepticons and Autobots.
Feels so good right over there.
There's still a bunch.
Yeah.
Okay, Elgin, what did you bring? Speaking of giant pile of toys.
Yeah.
You already brought that one.
That's a different one.
Okay.
I mostly talk about wrestlers, I guess, this time. So most of these were, I think all of these were on clearance, or I got them somewhere else. All right, so the first one is Jimmy Uso, who's his twin brother Jay Uso also wrestles. They're part of the Bloodline. I think I got this for like $9 on clearance. So I already had Jay Uso from the Build-A-Figure set. So I was like, well, he needs his brother also to hang out with.
Well, yeah.
So that's why this is the
split 'em
top picks version. That's a thing, but it's elite figure. And he has the old tag team belt on. They've just replaced that belt with a new belt.
I thought it looked old.
Yeah, this is the one they just took. They just took and swapped out with a newer version, a gold version of the tag team titles. So, but yeah, that's Jimmy Uso by the Bloodline. Well, he might be getting kicked out of the Bloodline.
You're splitting up.
Well, it's going to be old Bloodline versus new Bloodline, probably.
Like you do.
Yeah. All right. And then we got Drew McIntyre. This is a Series 104.
Champ.
Well, he was a champ for 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's a good run.
Yeah, good run.
It sucks. I kind of really like that dude.
Yeah, I
was
yeah.
pulling for him. And
I
then-
know. And then he was like, showing off to CM Punk, and then he got
You
hit.
knew it was-
He got hit with the Money in the Bank briefcase and lost his title immediately to Damian Priest. But he did hold it for 5 minutes and 40
Dreams
seconds.
do come true.
Yes. No more broken dreams for him. I think that's a inside.
Okay.
Anyway, he comes with a little claymore and a kilt that's removable. This is like one version of it. There's another one where it's like he has a different kilt, but it's basically the same figure, different series. But yeah, so Drew McIntyre, Scottish Warrior. I think I got that as a birthday gift, I believe.
Pretty good
My brother
likeness.
got it for me. Yeah, the head sculpt's really great on that. Then we got a Kevin Nash. With his NWO gear on. He's even got a little Wolfpack hand sign
Hey,
going
yo.
up there. Big Kev. But yeah, I think I got this at Walmart clearance. Yeah, for like probably 11, something like that. So basically half off. His shirt does come off. It comes with the soft goods NWO shirt, and then he has like his regular like black tank underneath that even wrestling.
Good. I was hoping it'd come off.
wrestle with, which also says NWO on it as well. So, but yeah, another clearance find. And this was from the Ruthless Aggression era. That was the series that it came out with. There that had a bunch of figures from Ruthless Aggression.
This likeness, not so good, not as much.
I wish his hair was down. So his hair's in a ponytail on the back.
Down.
And I wish it was like, because a lot of times it was down, like more of a flowing mane of hair, and but not so much. And yeah, his beard is not, his like goatee is not great.
Weird.
He could probably like draw it in a little better, maybe like a little darker. But yeah,
I looked ahead.
oh my gosh, I fell over. And then I get this Iron Sheiky baby. This was at Target. I think I got it on sale.
So not fat enough.
Yeah, it's
It's got a little punch.
So
there.
yeah, so he's got a soft goods robe, which is really cool, and he even has his shoes are like the curled shoes and everything, and he's got a little his headscarf as well. It's like molded on there. You can take that off and stuff. But yeah, he actually is a little more rounded than most, because he was he was very much barrel chested. But they did a better job. But the head sculpt's really great on it as well.
It is.
But they did make him a little more
thicker.
a little thicker. He did not come with his little clubs, the Persian clubs, which I might make out of some dowels or something.
Yeah, I knew it.
And then he can have them and then paint them or something like that. But I thought his face looked really good. The head sculpt is like really good on that. This is part of the Legends series that they put out. I think they had 3 of their figures in that series as well. But yeah, I think it was half off or something like that. So
Elgenomics at its finest.
And then to round out the wrestlers, we had our own Cracktastic Plasticon.
Sure did.
And the only thing I bought there was this wrestling figure. For some reason, that was the only thing I really found. I had to leave early, so that's probably part of it. But this is another Undertaker and Slam Cycle. This one is the version that came out 4 years ago. So this one is the black motorcycle version. I have the red one with Drew McIntyre that also came out at the same time. So they did a red and black one. So now I have both of them. This one doesn't launch anybody off. It just tears it. You can break it apart like all the other ones. But the headlight does damage. Like come on, pop. There we go. So it'll break. It'll break. Kind of like those old like the Hot Wheels.
Oh yeah.
That when you run them into stuff, they turn and make a damage thing. So it does that. You can swap out the tanks as well for like battle damage tanks, and then all of the engine and tailpipe and handlebars come off as well. There's that. And then the Taker is kind of just another version. It's the basic line instead of the elite line. All the other figures are elite figures. But this is the basic figure. It's a little different with the head sculpt as well. This time his hair is down instead of in a ponytail. He doesn't have his little headband as well. And kind of a different shirt, I guess. But it looks like another good head sculpt of Taker. They seem to do Takers pretty well, like his head sculpts. And he has a lot of figures out there. They just put out a Monday Night Wars figure as well.
Is there going to be one of him in a hoodie with a beanie on from wrestling?
Probably. Just wait. And the last thing I have is another motorcycle. This is the Mutant Mayhem Battle Cycle. Kind of we talked about last episode, I believe, and I found it for $9. So
lucky!
So I had to buy it.
Dude, this thing's awesome.
But yeah, I love the movie Mutant Mayhem. I've watched it several times with my son. But yeah, this is the one with Raph. It's like a little Vespa, really, like a scooter almost, not really a motorcycle. But it is similar to the sewer cycle. But this one, you can either have the figure riding the trash can sidecar on the back, or you can pop it off and move it around to the front or to the side and have it like that. So it's off to the side, much like the sewer cycle. And then you can attach a little nunchuck to the wheel so you can like hit people with it as well, which is cool. And then you can attach his size on the side of the cycle as well for storage. And it comes with an exclusive, that's what they call exclusive figure with his little helmet, which it's not removable, but just another version of
Goofy
of
in his
Raph.
face.
Yeah. But yeah, for $9, I mean, I
Dude.
couldn't not buy it. But yeah, that's another motorcycle.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's really cool to like just have. I mean, you could even probably, but there's no pegs in the cycle. But I mean, you can fit a little guy in there and just have him like hang out and stuff. I think they show like Mikey on the sidecar as well. But
That movie's so good.
yeah,
I knew. So at Cracktastic Plasticon, I had Mutant Mayhem soundtrack on there. And like I knew it when it was happening, but I just forgot. And when I was making the playlist for it, I'm like, put it on there, and I started listening. Like, this sort of doesn't belong, but it maybe because it was so awesome. It was Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, Academy Award winners, did the score for the movie.
Yes,
and so hearing it,
and even the soundtrack with all the songs on
separated,
it, like the actual song, like the throwback songs and stuff.
So good.
It was great. Like 90s hip hop stuff was very good.
Well, all right. That's
all I have.
Okay.
Today.
There's so I'll go and I'm going to start with the thing that I brought last time and forgot to show off, just so I can get it out of the way and not have to worry about bringing it again.
Sure.
I got the new Superpowers Whirly Bat, and it's cool because it was on clearance, Elginomics, But the fun thing about this guy is that it was labeled as Invisible Jet, because the clearance sign on the shelf said Invisible Jet, and I'm like, oh dang, but there were no invisible jets, so I'm like, dang,
because you couldn't see it because it was
all right. Here, I'm already sick of that joke. But happy to get some more superpower stuff. The new waves.
So you got it for the price of the invisible jet?
Yeah, which was like, I can't remember.
I saw it was pretty cheap. Yeah, it was. I saw it on there, and then
but I just wish the new waves would come to our stores here. Like, I haven't seen them anywhere. Just
I keep seeing them online, like on Instagram and stuff. People posting about that.
So the rest of these things I got at Cracktastic Plasticon. Quick update. It went super well, I thought, right?
I thought so.
So we had a brand new location. This is probably the 8th one we've done in 3 years. And it was great. I was nervous because just moving any event, moving locations is just scary business. And everyone was cool and kind of followed. And the feedback I thought was really good too, because and I agree with it. The event center where we was having it was a very proper, clean cut, professional thing, which is great and added some wonderful validity to our event. But we were just kind of in this big warehouse, cement floors. It felt like a flea market a lot more. It seemed
like a pop-up flea market.
It had even friendlier vibe, I thought. And
definitely.
Yeah. So it went real well.
And a sweet-ass food truck.
And the food truck was delicious. It was nice to have good food at our event.
Yeah.
We hadn't had that the last 7. So that was good. And then so the rest of these things I got at that show.
Sweet.
I got the new TMNT Universal Crossover Raph as the Wolfman. I love these. I got them all except for the new one, Creature. I still got to get him. I was just kind of waiting to get through all this first. But
do you have Casey Jones?
I do.
Sweet.
Yep, got them all but Creature now so far, and they're still coming. So it's really exciting, and this artwork's so amazing, and I just need my friends to get them and open them so I can see what they're like.
Is Abe still doing his?
I don't know. Abe, you need to be doing those unboxings because we want to see what's in there.
That's a cool figure. All these figures, these NECA figures are awesome.
Yeah, they're really good. I'm sorry that your first one broke.
I glued it back together.
Okay, so you're not too mad.
And I put it back in a plastic bag, and that's where it's sitting.
I actually got some pops. I haven't done that in a while, and they're ones that I thought I missed.
Oh, okay.
Because I kind of stopped buying
Took a
Pops
break.
and just been super addicted / just obsessed with Transformers. So if it came in that window, I'm like, well, I guess I just don't get them. And then they were at this show, and the vendors there were amazing and gave me a sweet-ass deal, less than retail even.
Awesome.
And because I know they go for a lot. So it's the They Live Pops. It's John Nada and the Alien. And the Alien's so cool that just there's so much dynamic color in that face. But they're beautiful. They're amazing. I know Tad got the Chase. The Alien's got a Chase figure that's black and white, of course.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I know. He said his grandma, and this isn't the first time, she, like he has a wish list too, kind of thing, and grandma will buy him stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came, she's like, oh no, I think I got you the wrong thing. This one's black and white. It doesn't look like anything. It doesn't look like the one I was supposed to get for you. And he's like, Grandma, it's okay. Yeah. You did good.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I got some Pops. That's nuts.
Yeah.
And the last...
next episode I'll bring the stuff that I got at Cracktastic.
Oh my gosh.
That's why we don't put that there. Uh-huh. Yep. And then the next thing is I'm super excited about is I've been wanting to start collecting this toy line. And this isn't the original one, but it's a redo one.
Mm-hmm.
It's Toxic Crusaders. This is kind of newer from Trick or Treat Studios, but it's Toxie. And it's got a lot of the basic things that came with the original Toxie. But even Mike was looking at it. He's like, this is a kind of a better version. Like this, the head sculpt, the sculpt in general is like actually even better. It's like proportions. He's slimmed, not so chunky fat, and yeah, same thing. And then
Very cool.
that vendor gave me a really good deal on that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw that over there, but I don't. No, I didn't. Because I didn't jump on it, I guess. Have to kill him off.
Yeah, and he gave me a little off because it's weird. I've never seen a bubble just be off center like that.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it doesn't change anything really, and it's clear, so it's not a huge deal. But it's just weird.
Cut that. That's
yeah, I might, but it's no big deal. But
contents may contain chromatons. Watch out.
So I like that the bubble is a
yeah,
it's
a trick. Yeah,
it's
can of toxic waste.
Yeah,
so cool. Yeah, it's really neat they did that. But I really want to start collecting that original line. I think there's only like 9 figures, so it's attainable, and
sure.
I'm pretty excited about it. And then, I mean, I guess the other things I got, we can just lead it into our discussion.
Sure.
These guys up here. I mean, I guess this is more of the discussion. I also got the Lunar Cruiser Prime. Just came out of nowhere. Just, it felt like a year ago at this point, but they're just like, hey, we invented this character toy, and it's from Japan. Takara did it. They just, here's this thing. Really? And it's just a little lunar rover. It's kind of really awesome.
It also says Toyota on it.
Yep. I assume everything's sponsored nowadays. Things that cost a lot of money.
Should have brought mine in, so stole your thunder.
No, it's fine. Or I wish you'd have had it in the...
It's still in the box, so it's in that vehicle form.
Yeah.
In that vehicle form, I had it was like the most contained, I called it on my stream a potato of solitude. Mm-hmm. It was like...
It was hard to get started.
I couldn't get it started.
It just like smashed it
tabbed together so tightly and everywhere. You just couldn't... It was hard to get it started, which was neat. I'm like, okay, props to the engineering on this thing.
Yeah.
But then once it started going, I'm like, hey, there's a prime in there. But, all right, well, let's talk about articulation, guys. Do you love it? Do you hate it?
I love it.
Yeah, you have to. You're living this amazing life of what I'm going to talk about, where they...
Okay.
Well, I mean, also just that they made the toys you love.
Yeah.
But they redid it with articulation. And
yeah. That's and kind of why I talked about the wrestling figures as well, because all these wrestling figures, the elite figures, have great articulation on. Not so much maybe the basic figure, but the elite ones. They have the double elbows, they have double knees, they have ankle and tilts and everything. The only thing they don't have is the butterfly shoulder, which is on the Ultimate Edition. But for something you can get on clearance for like $9 to $11 with that much articulation and that much playability is insane. And I mean, I brought some other stuff to kind of like show, like,
Speaking of wrestlers, though,
yes,
like we grew up with the LJNs. There was zero.
Yeah, it was just a big
and we were
dog
happy
toy.
to have these
Chew toy.
dog chew toys, and it was the greatest thing ever.
But you could just slap them around
I
and
know.
just like hit people with them.
But those were our wrestling toys growing
Had
up.
that in the pillows.
Yeah, yep, the wrestling pillows, and even some of the smaller figures, or even like the thumb wrestler figures, they were just once again a smaller version of that LJN figure, and even some of the later smaller wrestling figures, they may have had an action feature of like throwing something or like doing a press or something like that, or an elbow drop or something. But that was pretty much it.
Very limited.
It was very limited. I mean, as a kid, I didn't really care. I mean,
Oh no.
because all I was going to do was just throw them around and I wasn't taking pictures of them.
Right.
Playing with them that way. I was just, they were just, smacking into each other. He-Man and Skeletor fighting. That's all they did was just, But I mean, I brought one a vintage one just to show. It's kind of the same one from last week as well. But it's a good example of He-Man, of just his arms move and his legs
Spread
kind of
eagle
move. Yes,
legs.
you can't really stand him up. I mean, if you wanted to display him, you need a little stand for him to kind of.
But like looking at a bunch of the G1s, like that's maybe even more articulation than some of them have.
Yeah.
Like their arms might move.
Right.
If their head might turn.
Right.
Some don't.
And even like Ninja Turtles, like the original Ninja Turtles were similar to Motu, where they had, I mean, probably even less because the turtles, they can't move their waist around. With at least He-Man, you can kind of have some kind of action feature, move his waist a little
snaps.
bit until it's until I've had him just spin around, and then when it snapped, it's like, well, okay, that one's done. But then if you look at like the new Masterverse figures, they have double knees, they have ankle tilts, they have double elbows and chest ab crunches, and good shoulders and everything. And so
bicep and thigh swivels.
And even that
and
thigh, and it's like and
everything.
Calf, and 30 points of articulation, as the box says. But you can do, you can, especially with different hand sculpts as well. He can be like, he's just
hide and seek.
just sad, just like, or whatever else you want. He can be on the lookout, or
I've never really been a fan of the thigh swivel.
Yeah, there's
because if it's out of place, then it just looks weird.
Yeah, there's one especially that the Bat Lynn version, because they painted her costume on her thigh. So as soon as you turn her thigh, the costume's off.
Yeah.
They didn't give her a soft goods for that. They just painted it on. I was like, oh, come on, guys. So you can't move her thigh, or otherwise it'll be off. The drawing of it will be off.
Way noticeable.
Yeah, that one's very noticeable in that one. This one's not as bad, but when they just have like a naked thigh. But yeah, using these for really any action shot, especially for the Predator prints photo shoots that I do, where they're fighting a predator, whoever it may be that week, usually a wrestler, but or whoever I open usually. Just being able to have them fight, with the wrestlers especially, they can do their moves on whatever their finishing move is. They can do, like for Undertaker, you can do a tombstone on a predator, but having the articulation to be able to lift him up and hold him, and having the other figure hold. So I don't usually have to have a stand or anything. I can just balance it enough with the articulation to get it in that pose and then quickly take a picture of it.
So what I'm hearing is articulation is ruining kids' imaginations, because now you can just do it. You don't have to imagine it. I'm just kidding.
Sure, I guess that's one way to think of it.
No, it's so amazing to be able to do
or
those
it's
things.
being able to, make the figure do what's in your mind.
Yeah.
And say, I want it to be posed like this.
And
now I can.
do it.
Now I can actually do it, which
Instead
is
of
great.
being sad over and over that you can't pick anything up off the
just
ground.
Crying, yeah.
Like Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
But so a newer figure, and I haven't really talked about these yet. I was going to talk about them later. But with these Ghostbusters figures, they don't really have a lot of articulation. They have their shoulder and legs. They don't have knees or elbow movement, and then their head can move. The problem with this is they're supposed to hold their,
wand,
their neutrino wand, but you really want to hold it with two hands, if you're wanting to be like the movie or something.
Yep.
So really, all you can do is just hold the
hose in
the
one
tube there, and then put it in the other one. It's like, well, okay, but it's not really. If he had an elbow, just one little elbow movement, you could move that over, and then you could have it like that, and you could bend the other elbow. But because they don't have that, it's like, well, now you're stuck like this.
Not that there's anything wrong with just having 5 points.
True.
But specifically with those Ghostbuster toys.
I mean, maybe if the elbows were bent a little bit to start with.
Yeah, they're really straight. They're like
they are. Are those $10 ones that come with the little?
Yes, I bought these all for $5 actually.
Yeah,
when they were on clearance.
They're cool.
Yeah, but I ended up getting all the set. That was kind of the reason why. But yeah, if they even had a little more bend, even if they're molded, with He-Man has at least a little bit more of a action pose in his arm. And even the Turtles as well. They have a little swivel, but not really any elbow side to side. I think the new Classics ones, some of them did that. But yeah, it just makes it hard to have like, you want them to be fighting
do
ghosts.
The thing that it's supposed to do.
You want them to be fighting ghosts, and it's like, well, I can kind of go like this, and
point
just have like one, wave my wand like that, out in front of me. And on the flip side, then you can, I bought a Classified Joe, and that has the same articulation, the double knees, double elbows, the ab crunch, and everything. And then using these in any type of fighting position, you can hold weapons. You can actually hold rifles and guns how you're supposed to hold them. You can have any type of action, and even like fighting predators as well. And
it makes so much sense that G.I. Joe made Classified, that Star Wars made Black Series,
right?
That Origins were made, that they can
There's
realize
the
these
Masterverse,
characters and get to freaking play with them.
Yeah. And I mean, these wrestling figures have been around for a long time, the Elite line and everything. And now they're just, other toy lines are like, well, let's just apply that. I mean, Mattel does all of the WWE figures. It's like, oh, let's just apply that technology that we already have to Masterverse. It's just
Power Rangers have the Lightning Collection, all
Exactly,
that 6-inch,
Lightning
highly articulated.
Great. Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
And even the Mutant Mayhem Turtles, they have a lot more articulation to them as well. Like they have elbows, knees, and shoulders, so you can actually bend and put them in fighting positions as well, which is great. And that's a lot of things. It's like being able to like get into some sort of fighting position, to take a picture or have it posed some way. Even if you're displaying on a shelf, you can have it in a different position instead of just like standing straight up and like and all that. But yeah, I love it. It's kind of a game changer really for toy photography, is having the ability to pose whatever figure in kind of a unique pose and basically tell a story within that one picture or multiple pictures.
Takes dioramas just to a new level.
Yeah, because then you can hide behind stuff a little easier too. You can do so many things.
Very cool. Well, Spooty, do you want to talk about these primes? I feel like I've yammered on about them enough in my streams lately, but
I like them.
Yeah.
So what's up with these primes?
What's up with those primes?
You didn't bring the trailer.
No.
The trailer is.
It doesn't have any more articulation than the other.
It actually has less,
but
it doesn't have the spring-loaded shoot the ruler out thing.
Yep.
So,
But what's up with these primes?
Exactly the same. It's the missing link, and they're both missing link. Though.
Yep.
It's just different versions.
Yep.
So one's the toy version, and one is the cartoon version.
Okay.
Harken back to the last episode.
So
Callback.
Mr. Blue Eyes is the cartoon, and then the other one's the original toy version. And then which version is this?
That's the original. I mean, that's actually the 25th because his smokestacks are shorter, but it's the same unarticulated G1, real G1 version.
So these guys, the knees spin. There's actually like movement in the hips, the feet got the whatever the
Ankle
pivot,
tilt.
Ankle tilt. The hands are actually like they fold in and don't detach. And so like it's got the shoulder joint that actually goes up, where that one only kind of rotates
Around the cab.
I think you can move it up and down, like forward. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the elbow.
Jointed elbow.
So the elbow also pivots, where the other one only did up and down. And it's nice ratchet joints.
Yes.
Sound good.
The knees
Sounds
and the
so
elbows.
good.
Sounds like my knee in the morning.
This also has
Compare that to this
Matrix.
Is this another like this? Other
They're
one?
exactly the
Okay.
same, other
Just
than the
different
paint.
colors,
The colors are a little different.
Why didn't they do this like a long time ago?
That's what's just so amazing about these missing link ones is they took the exact. I mean, it's not the actual molds, but they redid the actual molds. But the engineering, they added articulation.
Are they doing a whole series of these?
We hope,
This is the only one.
but these are the only ones.
You know,
Just
so
1
they're-
and 2.
The same size.
They're more or less exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's it's everything we ever thought we wanted when we were kids. Look at that. His legs go forward. Look at these action poses. It's so neat. And honestly, if they don't do any more, that's also fine. It's like this is a realization of a dream, that it won't stop being amazing to me, but
The only thing I wish they would have done was where the original, like the smokestacks would actually rotate. So if you were like putting it away or something, it would move before it snapped off, even though they tended to snap off a lot too. So
yeah, any chance to talk about these new missing link ones, I definitely wanted to. It's just such a neat thing that's never happened in 40 years of Transformer history. They went back and made the most iconic toy of all time, and improved it and made it better while keeping it exactly the same, being true.
and also
It's just
so on
so
the
cool.
forearms with this, like where it's a sticker on
those.
this one,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
it's actually molded.
molded into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they said
Which is like that,
And
but
the same on the
unpainted.
on the knees and on the feet. I mean the Autobot symbols are actually painted decals or decos. Where in the original it's usually a sticker.
Well, let me ask you this question.
This one is the painted too. But
Is there bad things with more articulation?
bad things.
Yeah. Is there?
I can't get him to stand up.
I know.
He doesn't want to
So
stand up.
you lean him against the wall. Yep, or whatever. Are there downsides?
with Transformers, there's more parts to break,
Sure.
but also since they move more, like you kind of almost have to try to break them
Sure.
more.
Please don't try to break.
Yeah. Where it should like give and move and stuff.
The only maybe aesthetic downside would be how the arms look, like how the biceps and everything look when you articulate to get it. When you like move their arm out, it looks like a weird arm cut.
Well, yeah, and the double elbow, double knee joints.
I was going to
look a little weird.
The way that this it doesn't look. It looks fine when you have it bent like that.
Yeah.
But when you stretch out his arm, there's a little.
That's not
But even when
natural.
you're like a shirtless dude, like
Yeah.
it kind of looks weird.
Yeah.
Where on the G.I. Joe, where it's like a uniform, there's actually seams and stuff.
Yeah.
And so if it kind of blends in a little
This
more.
one looks a little. Yeah, I think because with the Joes, they're not so muscly.
Yeah.
It's really with when you get some big muscly men. It's
Go on.
it makes it looks a little weird. I have some. There's some like basic figure. I think that the Drew McIntyre basic one I have, his bicep just looks weird. Like it, for whatever reason, But I mean, it just has a single elbow cut. But I don't know. It just looks strange.
There was enormous controversy a year or two ago when the NECA April O'Neil came out. Her knees, because of the way they had her double knees, it's just got this little circle kneecap.
Sure.
And like people lost their fucking minds because it looked so bad. And I mean, like, okay, it doesn't look natural, but like you want to play with this toy.
Sure.
I don't know.
Not if you're a NECA fan.
I
you want
guess.
it to sit on your shelf.
Right, 'cause you don't want to break it. You don't want to.
Yeah.
Speaking of knees, that reminded me of.
Yes, they hurt.
Yeah. So the Origin figures, Motu Origin figures, that they have, I think, around 16 points of articulation. So, yeah, no, it's no 30. But specifically for the female figures, because they're smaller figures, a smaller mold. The first run of Tila, was it Tila? I'm trying to think. Yeah, Tila, her knees, they made them kind of weird. They made them like overlapping because there's only one knee, but it's like an overlapping. And then they fixed on the second one to make it thinner on the top, so it wasn't like this big sheaf of skin or something that was like over the knee. It looked really weird, and they even did it for like Evelyn and like the Sorceress as well. But they finally did it so the knee is a little more contoured and looks more natural. But those first runs, the knees are like they're rough.
What were you
they're
thinking?
rough looking.
So the loose skin on your elbow is sometimes referred to as the weenus.
True.
What is it for your knees?
Knees?
Is it knees?
Nice.
I have no idea.
No, what?
But then the knee weenus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
She has
Yeah.
big weeniness.
I don't
Yeah,
think
it is weird. It's just like because it bent underneath, so the plastic came over it, and then the knee articulation was underneath that, so it like covered it up, but it was like they made it too big to cover it up. They did make it better on later models, but the first run was of Tila was that was like the major complaint of like not really how it articulates, but just how it looks over the articulation. And I think really that's mainly what I'm talking about is the aesthetic of it.
I think the biggest problem with articulation is ball joints.
I was going to ask you, do you like them or not like them? That's an amazing technological advancement.
And also
in a
the
lot of
thing
ways
that wears out faster than anything else.
Yeah.
But how many times have you pulled an arm off a transformer and you're like, thank fucking God it's got a ball joint, I can just put it back. Or any other time this would have been broken. Like, it's a good thing, right?
I mean, but if it was made differently, like it might not have.
Pinless joints. Oh, those Joes.
I do have those lanyard predator ones are pinned shoulders, and I actually had one of them fall out. That like the shoulder pin fell out. You can just put it back in, but before I did that, I was like, it's on one of the pictures of when I had Snout Spout. I'm like, well, he's got an axe, so I'll just make it look like he chopped off his arm. And then I put it back, so I did it out of order, But it was just like, I was like, wait, let's take advantage of his arm being off, like he cut it off. But it was something I never realized that it would just fall out after so much wear, movement and everything loosened it up.
So the problem I have with the ball joints is you'll see in a bunch of the Beast Wars stuff that the ball joint isn't actually strong enough to hold the weight of the toy.
Mm.
And so it has a really hard time standing up.
Yeah.
Or holding a pose or anything like that.
The one thing with ball joints that they for Origin figures, Motu Origin, is they only use the ball on the head, so you can swap out the heads.
Yeah.
But it makes their heads super loose and just wobble wobble.
And there's a way to make those tighter.
And that is
the Bostic UV stuff.
I was gonna say I use clear fingernail polish or.
So
like
the Bostic stuff bonds better with plastic and will stay there, where fingernail polish will eventually chip off.
Just making it larger.
Yeah.
To pop in there. Yeah. Yeah, that's my probably biggest thing with ball joint for head sculpts.
It's designed to not last in its
and the heads just pop off a lot of times too. But I mean, even these wrestlers have ball. But a lot of these I have to boil to get the heads off.
Yeah.
If I want to.
Just picture you in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, I've done it with Happy Corbin because I just wanted his suit body and I didn't want his head.
So do you just have an electric kettle just for
I should.
toys?
I mean, I have plenty of pots and pans in the house.
But then you're putting heated plastic and
I don't think I care about articulation, as in it's not important to me. And it's not just because I just showed off some pops and I have a lot of pops. Mm-hmm. We've heard the complaint of why people don't like pops because they're just little statues and they turn their head and that's it. I guess for me, it's who am I? If I wanted something, I didn't design the toy.
Okay.
These toys are designed by other people. I get to enjoy what they create for me. Why do I feel I get to be picky about this thing? Take all these cool things that we're getting and just like them for what they are. Mm-hmm. I guess
no,
it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me.
I disagree.
I'm happy to have any of it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why you're wrong.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, everybody.
I'll take it.
But actually, it's
okay. Yeah. Going to hear from our podcast network, the PFP. We are taking a break. I'm getting out of here before it gets out of control.
I love articulation.
Yes, we all do. We all love it.
It's okay.
Whatever.
Depends on the toy.
The PFPN, home of so many awesome other podcasts, and we all share a nice little webpage, thepfpn.com, so we can all share our listeners with each other. It's a bunch of friends. It's a bunch of cool podcasts. Check it out, and here's some more about it.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
All right, we're back. It's time for Elgin to take us on a store tour.
All right, today's store is called Link to the Past. It is at 4 Duncan Drive, Bourbonnais, Illinois.
What was that?
It's
what?
Bourbonnais.
Oh, yeah.
It's French. But when I was looking at the pronunciation of this, they first pronounced it as the English version, which was like bourbonous.
Right.
And I was like, that looks French.
Sure does.
The word looks French. Come to find out, it is. So then I was like, well, what's the French pronunciation of it? And it's Bourbonnais.
You're so sophisticated.
Illinois. It's a store that is about an hour south of Chicago on Interstate 57. So if you go basically straight south on I-57, you'll go right into the town of Bourbonnais. The store is run by a 13-year-old named Lincoln Link. That's what it's called, Link to the Past. Who runs the store after school on Wednesdays and on the weekends. So it's only open on Wednesdays and the weekends. So it is a newer store. He started as a 12-year-old from what I was reading. And now he's 13. But yeah, it's named after him. He runs it. He basically is the guy you would see if you went to the counter, and he sells the toys there.
Interesting.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
His family also helps too, like his cousins and other stuff too. But he basically, after school, he goes right there and runs the store and stays on the weekends.
Support young entrepreneurs.
The store has a collection of video games, new and vintage toys, including Turtles, Transformers, G.I. Joe, wrestlers, and much more. And it is a French town because in 1830, Francois Bourbonnais Sr., a fur trapper, hunter, and agent of the American Fur Company, arrived. And Bourbonnais Grove was named after this early pioneer. And if you know anything about the American Fur Company,
oh, do I?
It was started by John Astor, who is probably one of the richest people in American history, and donated a lot of his money to the New York Public Library. One of the lions outside the public library is named Leo Astor.
Killed so many things.
It was not probably great.
Is he the one that...
If you look at his family, and he's compared to with like the Carnegies and the Rockefellers and all those other tycoons of American history, he made when he died, his wealth was 0.9% of the entire GDP of the United States at the time. Which, if you think of it today, Jeff Bezos' wealth is 0.9% of the GDP of the United States, which is $200 billion.
Was it his lion that got possessed by the ghost
Probably.
in the Ghostbusters movie? Okay.
Probably. Anyway, that's Link to the Past for Duncan Drive at Bourbonnais,
Spoilers.
Illinois.
I just assumed it was a store dedicated to Legend of Zelda.
Well, he does have video games there,
Yeah, that's cool.
and stuff. But I think his thing is Pokemon cards and things like that, and trading cards.
Dude, that sounds awesome, and it's not too far away. I mean, it's something we could stop at.
Yeah, if you go south from like Joliet as well, or straight south from Chicago, it's in that area.
Very cool, very cool. All right, now it's time to hear from you guys. It's Spooty with Talking Toys.
Now's the fade out time that Jason wants me to start talking over. But
Yes.
I never learned to read.
Now's the time.
Now is the time. Now? Go now? Go,
Now.
oh, how about now? Go now?
And the next segment we're going to do. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Got a few things here.
Cool.
Tracy Todd says articulation and a figurine is very important. Say you have a toy like Venom and you want to take good pictures, a real good possible figure is really nice for articulation.
Posable.
It says possible.
Probably.
I'm sure he meant posable.
Yes. That Transformer dude says fully articulated. It'd help if I could actually say that word. Fully articulated figures are a must.
True.
That's true.
John Brown Band.
Mm-hmm.
He's friends. I prefer articulated figures. My most articulated figure is my one and only Mafex number 185. I don't know what that is.
I don't know which one that is. But
I don't know what Mafex is.
toy company.
Okay. The worst is when the figure has an outfit that limits their articulation.
Yeah.
Agatha, for example, if it moves, it's thumbs up.
Oh.
Probably got a lot of that with the wrestling stuff. So many wardrobes.
Yeah, but at least you can take off most of that stuff if it's soft goods.
Excuse me. Forrest Hightower Jameson says, I like 5-point articulation still.
Awesome.
Give me a Chris Star or a War Duke and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Corey was all about. The absolute least amount of articulation possible in his toy. But
His elbows moves, fuck that.
right.
Swivel action.
The Star Wars guys and the Joe guys, they just... Well, reaction figures, I think, imagine help fill that void of little guys.
Sure.
With,
If you like them, I guess.
if you can deal with those.
They look cool. They're so expensive.
Yeah.
Stupidly expensive. Maybe I should add a yeah, commented. I would say some figures, cough Hasbro, in parentheses, move so poorly they may as well be statues. Then Cartoon Motu Origins move so well it upgrades the figure quality.
I agree. The
You
Motu.
would.
The Motu part.
You're supposed to. You work for Mattel.
That's true. What do they call it?
Let's start that
Shill?
rumor.
The shill?
You work for Mattel.
Yeah.
I don't know what flags these are. Fat Rob.
Yo, Fat Rob.
He's got like a bear and like 2 flags and a
Just emojis?
something
Okay.
behind his name.
Yeah, that's part of his name. It's part of his
I
username.
don't know what looks like Puerto Rican flag. I don't know.
You don't know your flags? Come
I
on.
don't.
Jeez.
I love it,
Get with
and I prefer ratchet joints.
Oh, yeah.
He is correct.
He's a big Transformer guy.
Yeah,
That's good.
and that's
He also hates Bumblebee.
I knew I liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fastest way to get to Spoody's good side.
Fuck Bumblebee. All right, we're friends.
There's a lot of videos with him talking crap about Bumblebee. Even though he has one, it's the one that like talks. And he shows it in videos and stuff. But they're like, hey, I thought you said you didn't like Bumblebee. And then he has that one. He's like, well, I have this one.
Yeah. Oh, I have.
Yeah,
several.
exactly. Yep.
I'll tell you
'Cause
what.
I want all of the toys.
Yeah.
So.
John was on one of my streams the other day, and he unboxed a reaction figure of a Star Wars thing. And I think we were both shocked that there was a lot going on. Like in this reaction, in this little, it had a different head that you could pop on and off. I mean, it was funny because he popped it off thinking that he could swap it out, and he's like, "Did I just fucking break this?" He was shitting. It was so
sure.
funny. But then the other head had like a ponytail with a little ball joint that popped in the, and we're talking the smallest little
Sure.
thing, popped under her helmet and her hair, and seemed to have, it was like, because I know a lot of us here definitely, if we have anything reaction style, we definitely don't open them really.
I don't think
So-
I own any.
Yeah. Well, there's some Motu ones.
I don't know if I've ever seen them.
You're right.
I guess.
But it was just neat to see one out of the package. But
Yeah,
anyway.
it would be.
Well, all right. Well, before we go today, just want to remind everyone, if you like the show and you want to help support the show, that would be awesome. A good way to do that is just tell a friend.
Yeah.
Share those links, keep this thing growing, and then your support and kind words and sharing it is definitely one of the biggest things for it.
Yes.
And if you want to do a little bit more, you can head over to patreon.com/cracktasticplastic. Look us up on there. There's a couple tiers. You can give whatever you want, but if you get into the high tier, if you want to get high in the tier, you want to get, anyway, the big tier, there's lots of cool things like a chat with all of us and everyone in that tier together.
Exclusive
Say
chat.
chat.
A machat. It's a,
That's what I heard. I don't know.
yo, it's a machat. And it's fun. A lot of toy talk in there and toy shit talking in there. It's really fun. But another one of the perks is you get your beautiful name read aloud on the show, audio and video, and it goes a little something like this. Tony Miller, Chris Turnip Simmons, Peter Glinsman, Alex LaForest, comedian Bill Fisher, and Michelle Pizzulo. That's awesome of you guys for being patrons. We really appreciate it. And like I said, you too, just patreon.com/cracktasticplastic. Go there, check it out. There's cool things to look at.
So does Bill actually have his name in there as comedian Bill Fisher?
He does a lot of times.
Yeah.
But I'd like reminding him. I don't want him to forget.
That he does jokes.
Yeah. Yes, he's a funny man.
And does stand up.
Yep.
That's why he's a comedian.
And that's why we sit down. I got nothing either.
Yeah, I know.
We used it up. We're going to go. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. We really appreciate it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. But not so fast, my foul fiends. Don't forget to follow these fools on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And visit cracktasticplastic.com. I'll be back.
You're still here? Well, why don't you take a second and head on over to our Patreon page. Consider supporting our independent podcast. You get access to episodes early, shout-outs on the show, and be part of our exclusive chat. So be sure to visit patreon.com/cracktasticplastic.